Rico, do you want to go? I mean, you were there. I can give my summation, but I almost want you to go first on this because you
Hey, man, I had a great time.
yeah, it was super.
I had a great time.
Touchdown, Washington.
Now, State didn't win, but
No, they didn't play.
I got to see a bunch of fans, a bunch of people who love this show. They love you, Mike. Had a the Husky Stadium, man, that thing sits right off the water. They shouldn't have gotten greedy and built that little rich people suites in the Horseshoe Inn.
Can't see the water.
Can't see the water anymore. But, hey, I'm glad the rich people of Seattle can sit there and not really pay attention to their team.
Well, our corners couldn't see the wide receivers, so I guess it's all the same.
It was so bad because before you even it wasn't Ohio State bad. This was a different type of bad. Ohio State was the ultimate of you don't belong on this field and we feel sorry for you. This team came out, and you know what it is? I'm going to give the offensive coordinator credit. They schemed. They knew the weakest links on the team, and they attacked those guys often, constantly. Kimbrough, number 12, at some point it's like, just take him off the field. He's getting torched. Anytime Cal Halliday is out in coverage, we're going to throw to him. You saw that right before the half. Cal never turned around. It's like, Cal, the ball's in the air, and I'm saying, Cal, turn around. No. They knew exactly where to go. They knew exactly the players to pick on, and before you knew it, it was 22-0. And just when you thought early on, okay, State stopped the bleeding. They got the goal line stand. They got the fumble, but they didn't land on it. And then the next play on fourth down, they stop them. They get the ball back. And then Broussard trips in the end zone and falls. And then your All-American punter kicks it out of bounds, and you spotted them the ball on the 50. Not that Penix needed shorter fields, but you gave it to him.
Look, let's take this to – hold on. I want to take this to a bigger issue. All right, you've summarized the game. Now the game story.
You asked me.
All right, now, but I don't need a game story.
Then why didn't you ask me what the real question – what do you want to know?
I wanted you to just deliver your thoughts. Here's the real story. They had the worst pass defense I've ever seen in history last year. And
I was building up to that.
Oh, well, here. I'm sorry. Resume Lego building.
No, I was building up to that, but you know what? Let's just cut to the chase.
Yeah, let's just get there.
The pass, it's
every bit as bad.
As if nothing has changed. It felt like deja vu. And, after the game, Tucker, I know you haven't seen the tape, but this had to feel like last year. And, we got to look and see, and I'm not going to be happy. Well, I can tell you, I saw the game. You shouldn't be happy. You saw the game. You shouldn't be happy. That defense, I don't know what Scotty Hazelton, I don't know what their plan is. This bend but don't break, it's broken. You start the game off with your corners about 7 yards off the receivers, and you let a quarterback get in rhythm. And that's the one thing you don't want to do. You don't apply pressure. You're backpedaling. So I don't know what this defense is, but it's not working. Because once again, I saw Michael Penix. I think Michael Penix is good. I'm not trying to take away from him. I think he may be the best quarterback out in the Pac-12 right now. And yes, I know Caleb Williams is at USC. But Penix was so decisive. He knew exactly where to go. He knew exactly where the weak links were. That means everybody else knows this as well. Your defense is trash. And I thought they fixed it. They brought in players, but your scheme is faulty. Hazelton, you got to give me something because I don't know what I just saw out there. This is one, if Tucker's saying it takes what it takes, it may take you to make some type of changes on your staff because that's unacceptable.
Part of the problem here, too, look, I'm not going to let Tuck off the hook. You know what? You go to the portal, you get the credit when you deserve it for Kenneth Walker III. He went to the portal and grabbed Kimbrough, the kid who you said cannot be on that field, Ronald Williams. He grabbed Amir Speed. He's grabbed all these guys. Man, I don't even play. So, and here's the other problem I have. Defensive coach, secondary guy, right? He kind of took over coaching the DBs at the end of last year. Rico, I don't even want to just stop there. The other person I have a question for is Kaplovich, the O-line coach. He making $1 million a year, and Scotty Hazelton's making $1 million a year. Now, look, the defense is the story of the day because that secondary, wow. But,
you know what? You know what helps your secondary, Mike? Pressure. And you know what? You know what Washington said? You got one guy that we're afraid of. We're going to double team Windman the entire game, and you're not going to get anybody
but coverage
else.
has to help your pressure, and it was so bad. Look, here's the other problem for me. I am not going to do the whole, well, got to fire this guy today. I won't for one reason. I reminded myself, Halloween night 2009, I wanted Pat Narduzzi packed up into a suitcase and launched off Niagara Falls. They were at Minnesota. I swear to God, Minnesota had about 300 yards in wheel routes. Any Spartan fan knows it was the wheel route game.
Yeah, wasn't that the game that it looked like they had an interception and the ball bounced off the referee? And
yes. It's also the game that Mark decided to put Keith Nickel in J.J. Watt's arm brace at his own 1 yard line, ice cold, as a part of a QB rotation. I digress. The point is, what took place the next 5 years following were 5 out of 10 best defenses in school history. Do I like the way Scotty Hazelton plays? I don't. Do I think they have the players to play they want to play that way? I don't. But this isn't just bad. It's embarrassing. And you know what? You get paid the money. You get paid $9.5 a year. It's an issue. But now I'm going to give them the opportunity to fix this. Because I'll tell you what, I don't have a problem with the stuff that Tuck does. I think it's necessary to keep MSU relevant, get the brand grown, and do the things you got to do. Rico, we're going to find out what they are here in the next couple weeks. No, I don't expect them to be. You know, I said this to you opening night, and I stand by it. I thought they were a 7-win football team.
you did.
I still think they can get there or maybe a little higher. My point is, if you have the worst pass defense in America, all right, not UMass, not Hawaii, not UConn, Michigan State, okay, people going to lose their jobs. But if you have it 2 years in a row, that goes right to the CEO.
Right.
So
and that's why I'm looking at the D coordinator saying, okay, I thought this was fixed. I'm saying the same things. Yeah, so if you're Tucker, you're going to have to make the tough choices. You're going to have to go out there and say maybe what Ryan Day did last year.
Unplug his headset like you did Kerry Coombs?
Yeah.
Kids Bop?
This is not getting done. That was embarrassing. It was.
Here's what you can do. You can basically get to the Ohio State game. And I don't think it's any secret they're going to lose the Ohio State game. They probably don't belong on the same field as Ohio State. But if they compete, if they don't give up 400 yards in the first half, I don't know, show me something.
I'm going to be honest with you. Boy, this sounds bad.
What?
If the Ohio State game looks like that game against Washington, okay, you made improvements from last year. That's what it sounds horrible.
No, I think if
David, Ohio State basically probably said, hey, you want us to send some of our players over into your locker room? Yeah. They can put on the jersey. We can make this competitive because right now it's not competitive.
Look, they're still in building phase. Last year was way ahead of schedule, but this isn't good enough. I don't care if your coach makes $5 million a year. It's not good enough. No. And Tuck, at the press conference, I mean, I enjoyed the drop. He was talking about, look, the tape's the tape. It is what it is. This is how I feel. Look, if it looks this way the rest of the year, it goes beyond personnel changes. It goes beyond coaching changes. You have to start to ask questions about, wait a second, man. Yeah, D'Antonio didn't leave you much. I get it. But boy, oh boy.
What do you do when you face good quarterbacks?
Oh, they're probably going to get shredded because that defense wasn't ready to play. See, that's the other problem I do have. You're going to think I'm being mean. Spartan fans are going to get upset. Like I said, I don't have any qualms about the stuff that Tuck does. I think it's necessary at Michigan State because otherwise the oxygen goes to Notre Dame, Michigan, Ohio State in that Midwest bubble. You need to carve out your space. But they spent all week talking about how they were going to recreate sleep patterns to go compete. Hashtag compression shorts. The team in all three phases wasn't ready to play, and that falls on him. That was garbage, man. People went out there and spent their hard-earned money, and the team wasn't even ready to play in any phase. Offensively, you 1.7 yards a carry. Man, get lost with that. That's nonsense.
Honestly, Heck, Mike, by the time Peyton Thorne went out there for the second time on the field, it was 16-0.
Yeah, they'd run 4 plays.
Right. And there was a penalty in there. He completed 1 pass. It was 16-0. And it's like, okay, remember that game plan? Ball it up. Now we just got to go out and try to stay in this game.
And before people call in with this one, let me disarm this. I don't want to hear about injuries. Of course things are harder when you don't have Jaden Reed. Of course, Jacob Slade not playing. You know, that's the one thing, too. These broadcasts are so god-awful. I mean, Mark Jones and RG3, please, just get lost. Like, they didn't even tell you who was playing, who wasn't. Jacob Slade is an All-America caliber defensive tackle. Didn't play. We weren't winning that game. That team wasn't ready to play. I'm making a point to you. You don't get to call and cry about injuries if you don't compete. Mm-hmm. Okay? So I don't want to hear it.
No.
Don't want to hear it.
And it was because funny. You're right, because at the end of the game, I'm down on the field and talking to your boy Allen, like, boy, I sure would feel better if Jaden Reed was back there on that punt when it was like, okay, if you could take this, like, if Reed takes it to the house, man, they're back in this thing. They could have stolen the game. They didn't deserve to win, but near the end, it was like, man, if they get a play, like 6 minutes to go, maybe you steal it.
Guess what would have happened? Penix goes back, throws 7 passes, complete 6 of them.
No, because the Washington coach had taken his foot off the gas, which I thought was just a major mistake.
It was. They should have put 50 on us.
Right.
And look, that's the reality is, okay, you look at the quarterbacks. Can Clifford beat you? Yes. Can JJ do it? Probably, because of the amazing weapons they have. Stroud, for sure. Look, they're playing Minnesota this weekend. I'll be honest with you. I'm already a little bit disinterested because this product it's not good enough, period.
Right.
All right, all the sizzle, I need more steak. Now, if they can get right, win a couple of games, and then show me again against a decent QB, maybe I'll be a little more interested. Why?
No, it's just funny because now you're disinterested. But remember, people said, go play a team.
Oh, no, I love it.
Let's see what's wrong. Oh, I don't like what I see. I'm disinterested in this team now.
I will take that game, play that game, and lose rather than play cupcakes.
But now you're disinterested.
No. I'm still going to watch. I'll still be into it. But I know now my team is not Big Ten title caliber. I know that they will likely not win their rivalry games. And therefore, it just becomes light entertainment. Because here's the deal. He comes to town talking about, I want to win titles here, right? Mm-hmm. You go to the Peach Bowl last year, 11 wins, beat U of M. Hey, man, that's kind of where you need to be. I said to you, if they could win 9 games this year, I'd be happy. I don't think they're going to win 9 games. And I think what you saw Saturday night, you're going to see 2-3 more times. You know what I call that? A waste of my time. That's a waste of my time.
Right, but you've already written them off
for
something that has not happened yet.
I have not written them off.
Because they went out there and played the tough game. Now, had they played cupcake game,
we'd
would
never
be talking this way.
No, we'd never know.
Right.
That's why I like playing them, much like last
year. So now
year.
Ohio State is now that that's that game. Mike, you've seen it. You've seen it over the years. The Michigan game is different. They have a different mentality in that game. Whether they are a team that shouldn't even compete with them, like in 2020, but they still came out there. And you're like, where the hell was this?
No, you're right.
The week before with Rutgers.
Even last year, Michigan's defense seemed indomitable.
Right.
We had the worst pay. All right, fair.